starting to pray for us this evening. Now, today, being Thursday, as you always do, always have sessions to just share knowledge and learn from each other. So it is something that we do it passionately, and we believe that uh, by the knowledge that we are sharing from our different speakers, it will be able to help you achieve your career goals. Um, Last week we talked about we were talking about personal branding as well, and one of the things that came out clearly was that when you ask to volunteer, you need to just say your name, what you do, and if you're looking for a job, someone might be in the audience that might be of help to you, and then you might get helped. So Thursdays with Jay is brought to you by JCVs in conjunction with Conversations with Esther. So Maura, kindly mute yourself. So Conversations with Esther is part of the team that. So Conversations with Esther is part of the team that help us support these webinars each and every Thursday. So this evening we have a great speaker and someone that who is visionary, someone who is strategic, someone who has supported me personally as Jay Walemba to be where I am today. The speaker today is none other than our executive director for those in the HR professional. We have Madam Kuresha Abdullahi, who will be taking us through today's session. Karibu sana, Madam Kuresha. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Jay. Good evening, everyone. And I've seen someone say I've joined from the Middle East, so I know we are almost on the same timeline. So I hope everyone is okay, and I'm very glad to be part of these discussions and sharing of knowledge. So asante sana to Jay and Conversations with Esther for having me today to share with you on my how you can unlock actually your career through purposeful networking. And I know my presentation will be on double fold and networks, and then how do you do that through professional bodies. So I will be taking you through more of a conversation, but I will be guided by slides. And if I can see my screen, it means you can also see it because it's telling me stop sharing. So
Yeah, we can see the screen.
Good, thank you. Thank you. So today, as Jay has said, I'm the Executive Director of the Institute of Human Resource Management. And I'm glad, most of the times when we have such conversations, mostly it's from the HR fraternity. But now I can see we have a multidisciplinary audience, which is very good. So from connections to catalyst, how do we unlock our careers through purposeful network? I think that is key. But before I dive into that, it is very important I tell you, because I represent the Institute in this conversation. So it's important that I tell you who we are. So the Institute is a body, it's actually a statutory professional body established under the HRMP Act number 52 of 2012. And it's also a state corporation under the Ministry of Public Service and Human Capital Development. So some may ask, how are you a state corporation? So it's within the Kenyan laws that if you're either formed by a legal notice or through an act of parliament, then as per the definition of the state corporations, then you must belong to a certain ministry, because you remember you're doing a function for the public, which is in this case for us is regulating the profession in the country. So I will not, you go to our website, you will see what are our mandates. But basically, we are mandated to ensure that anyone who is practicing HR within the Republic of Kenya is a member of the Institute. And you don't just become a member of the Institute. Before you're even registered, you must meet certain professional and ethics criteria. And once you become a member, you must abide to the code of conduct, which we've set, and you have to ensure that you are doing the professional continuous learning. But also one of the things that we do is networking. We connect with regional and international bodies to advance HR management practice, and I'm glad Paul is on the call. We recently partnered with an institution in Cape Town, whereby Paul was one of the speakers, but also we have opened it up to our members to join. So please go to our website, you will see. We also promote the welfare of the profession, because our interest is to make sure we protect and promote the profession. Then we do publications and also research. Then through our HR awards, we recognize excellence. So please, I have shared our website there. Go and you will find out how to be a member and the different categories of membership we have. So allow me to dive into the topic. I have heard Skylar talk about that last week. You talked about personal branding, and then she talked about who is a mentor. So let me just, from my understanding, and also for those of you, because I know maybe some of you are students, some of you are already in your mid-level career, some of you may be already leaders and you just want to see how can I continue progressing. So the mentorship I know is into three categories. It's personal mentorship for your own personal growth. So you need a life coach for that. And then the career mentorship, whereby as you progress within your career, you look for a senior employee within your organization or within a peer-to-peer or someone who is doing the same thing as you, but at a senior level to guide you as you grow within your career. And then the academic mentorship, whereby you are either guided by the professor within the university or the professionals or a more experienced students. Like today, Jay was at JQuat supporting students through the University HR Association. So now here comes the question that everybody is looking for. You see, opportunities don't just come by just sitting around. You must connect in one way or another. That one person that you need to connect to, that you might meet through these forums that Jay is organizing, then that is how you get your life-changing opportunities. And Jay has a great experience on this as someone who is always preparing people for employability. And also that mentor, that coach or game-changing sponsor could be someone you've already met, but you have not spoken to yet. Because have you gone to forums whereby there are people you've really admired either through social media, then when you meet them, you're like, this one. So you just have to approach. If you don't make that approach and speak to that person, then you will not get the opportunity to either be mentored or to be coached or even become your sponsor, because sometimes it's also important to have people who can actually stand out for you. Now, why is it important to build networks? Now, there is a recent study by LinkedIn that 70% of the jobs that were filled were done through referrals. So you might be sitting here and waiting for that job, but just applications and sending applications and looking out on the newspaper for those applications just makes it to the 30% of the job, but 70% are being filled through referrals. So with that note, you must belong to the right network. Network also boosts your career success, promotions, or even higher pay. Sometimes you will find yourself that you're not that visible. But the minute you are spotted, either by your manager or someone else higher within the hierarchy, they see your value and it leads to your career success. Sometimes career success is not just promotions or higher pay, but that visibility that you get to ensure that everyone knows that there is Kuresha somewhere who is good at this. Let's give her. And then you become the talk, whether you're in business or whether you're a student, you have to offer yourself and say, I can do this for you. And it's key that you have to be visible. Like I'm sure for those of you who are in employment, you're wondering, Kurasha just joined, especially where there is no career progression. You know, there are places where there are policies where you're very strict that you have to like reach this level for you to be promoted. But there's some organization you are in and you're just beating your head that Kurasha came yesterday, but she's already been promoted. I've been here for 3 years. You know, being somewhere does not mean that you've been felt. So what is it that you're doing differently to boost your visibility? And then the other thing is building a personal brain trust for learning and a support. Are you someone who is reliable? Are you someone when it comes to this certain topic or this issue to be researched on, you are the to-go-to person in network to come to craft that idea that you can be trusted, that Kuresha knows this, let's get to her. So it's really important. And you know, this helps you, you know, when you're told to be part of a thought group to come up with certain information, it even helps you for your own learning and development. And within the process, you can even get supported. So sometimes you can be told, okay, can you become a research assistant in this specific topic? Then you go do the research, you sit with a senior person, they help you brush it, and then you co-author. Most of the articles, by the way, if you look either to the journals or you look at the newspapers, where you see their two names, remember, this person was working under the supervision of the professor, but because he's put his effort and he was trusted with this work, then tomorrow, if there's someone else who wants to tell you this, when I'm looking for referrals, especially for IHRM trainings, I'm always told, go to so-and-so, because the last time he did for us or she did for us, she did an excellent work. Because sometimes I have those jobs that, or those seminars that I have to fill within a short notice. And someone can only speak for you if they've trusted you with a project and you've delivered, then you can be referred. So it's key to be in the right network. And finally, it helps you gain confidence and visibility within your field. And you know why this is very important? When you share your expertise, whether it's within your network, like let's say in a WhatsApp group, you've written something, and then you say, I've been looking into this matter, and this is what I found out. What do you think? Or it could be that you've shared on your LinkedIn and also your social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook. By now, you know when it comes to professional content, LinkedIn is the to-go-to platform for everyone. Whether I am talking about whether it is within your profession, or you're looking for certain topic research on. Like when I was doing this presentation, I had to do a lot of referencing, and one of the places I went to, it was LinkedIn, to get as much information as possible so that I can share it with you today. So you can see, as you can see, networking is not just about, I need to get a job, it's beyond that. So you've gotten the job, so how do you sustain it? And you can do it by what I've just listed. Now let's also dive in. Let me just stay here on this specific slide, yeah? Because sometimes we sit somewhere and we're like, so how is my voice heard? You see, networking gives you that, it amplifies your voice. it amplifies in a way that, and I hope he will give me permission if he's not here, but also I know he will not mind, is every time I hear someone talk about HR analytics, I will always tag Nelson and say, what do you think? Because I know he has really put a lot of effort there, and it has actually accelerated his career. So I will not miss my words and saying, what do you think? And he will always give me back his feedback. The same thing if it's about CV writing. I know Jay is my to-go-to person. So you have to craft that. What is that one or two things that I can master? And within my networks, I can always be their reference. So now that we've talked about what it can do for you, how can you make sure that your strategies are effective and the steps that you can take? So it's important, first of all, you must define your objectives. And right now with AI and the different tools that are available, whether it's Copilot, nowadays, every time I put on my computer, because of the system I use, there's Copilot up there and it tells me, Kuresha, do not worry, I can help you today. So how can I help? I'm like, so now I'll be doing everything through Copilot because it just pops up. Okay, so you have to just go there and just define your objective. Then it can even rework for you and make it more clearer. Okay, and you have to be very intentional. So whatever you set, it's something that can be actioned. Then you have to determine what are the skills, opportunities, and insights you want to gain, because that is key. You don't just go to events for the sake of it. If I go here, will it add value to me? If I join this group, WhatsApp group, how will it help me? If I follow Jay, what is my intention or what are those opportunities I'm looking for? And then once you're there, prepare your personal pitch. When we joined, I had Jay ask, introduce yourself through the chats. So you will see someone just saying, Croatia, Nairobi. I've seen someone else mention his name, plus where he works. So it's always important that you can be identified and that your voice is amplified in a way that you have introduced yourself, that those who are in that event will never forget about you. Okay? And then your message should be tailored to the different audiences. So if you are within students, then what is it that you want to amplify? Are you doing this online? Is it a one-on-one whereby you've shaked my hand and that 1 minute, in fact, the first 30 seconds makes the difference in terms of how you've introduced yourself, and then is it this a conversation I'll be interested to continue? Depends on the first 30 seconds of our interaction. So you have to get that. And then the third thing is identify the networking opportunities. Because like I've said, don't just go in for any. You have to identify what is relatable to me and how can I join those networking industries. Some of them may be free, others you will have to invest. And when I say, people always say, oh, I wanted to go here, but it's expensive. You may never know what you will come back with. Because I run conferences and I've seen people invest millions in it because they say, if I access this, and I also on a situation whereby I always have those return sponsors because they have seen the value they get in attending those webinars. And I've also seen those HR professionals, whether it's at the start of their career or at the end, they keep showing up within our events and they don't shy away. They actually tell you that when I was here last, I was able to get this number of people to help me. Or when I was here last, I was able to get a job opportunity because Jay spoke to me and he shared an opportunity. I interviewed and I got it. Then professional associations and online communities. It's important. Sometimes it's one thing to follow someone. It's another thing to join. Within the LinkedIn, there's those closed online groups whereby You have to be admitted after making your pitch on why you want to be there, and then you get access to information through that. And then the professional associations, like where now our conversations will be focusing on, are moving, as I move on, is that within IHRM, by the way, as of yesterday, and I'm glad Dan is here, that something worth celebrating. We've hit 20,000 membership. On Wednesday, we have gone to sleep while we were just about 10 members to hit the 20,000. And yesterday, we have hit that milestone. That is IHRM, which before the act, there were less than 2,000 members who are very active. And that tells you that belonging to a professional association helps grow you as an individual, like your own personal growth, and also you get to network with the right people, and you get access to the right webinars. Like we were discussing with my team, like right now, we've become so generous that people have invested. Like, Jay, this is free of charge, but we have, I think it's only Monday that HR professionals are not hosting. Tuesday, we have someone hosting. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You see, it's growing. And every time you look at the attendance, no one has less than 50 people. So it's important that you are networking and you join the professional association. When they share those free webinars, then you can easily join. So it's for your own growth, because I mean, when you have here Fresher Speak and then Paul Ngugi, who just made an impact to more than 18 countries, because last week I was speaking in Cape Town, and then Grace Speak to you, where she sought after, not just in Kenya, but within the region. I mean, where do you get such opportunities? So belong to a professional body. I hear people say, oh, it's expensive. So at IHRM, especially if you're an HR professional, how you subscribe, and like I say, it's not just subscribing, there's some things we look at. And if you were to divide that by 12 months, it's worth investment because of the information and the people you get access to. So it's key that you also know. And then on the fourth one, it's one thing to join, but you must engage actively, okay? You must ask questions, listen actively, okay? So that at least whatever you're asking is relatable. Unless you want to say, Kuresha, this is not within the presentation, but I have this question, because again, that is about how you pitch for yourself. But if you were to concentrate within the presentation I'm doing, then you will be able to do, and then share insights. This conversation can be two-way. Like you could say, nice strategies, Kuresha, but I will add A, B, C, D. So you make it participatory and offer help. I had Jay ask someone, do we have a job? And then he mentioned that he has sales job. I have not seen anyone raise their hands. But let me tell you, not long ago, 2006, and I am going on record on this, and you can even go and verify. I worked at a law firm. Listen to this. I was the tea girl, I was the cleaner, and I was the secretary, with a salary of 7,000. Okay, and my now first formal job came through that law firm. Someone who said, oh, what have you studied, all that? And then she said, I saw an organization called MSF looking for secretary, a receptionist. Would you want to try? You see, so I did not just become a CEO overnight. So you don't overlook those jobs. I'm sure for those of us during my time, we were selling SIM cards, whether it was for Safaricom, Airtel, I mean, Cancel at the time. So please make sure that you don't ignore any job that is offered to you. It's better than staying at home. And then when you participate in discussions, you actually build trust that you know, when we were in this call, we had this person who was doing this, or when we were in this forum, this person was, and I'm sure I don't have their permission, but I can see people that when I saw them on forums, and I knew that they will go far. And I will not miss my word. I think Jay knows when we met, he can attest to his growth for those 4 years. I have people who lifted me to where I am right now to become the CEO and make sure I stay there. There is a young lady who I have seen her just finish school, and right now she commands LinkedIn. I saw her host even webinars. So it is, and because I know that she's not going to say no to me, Madam Macau, that's someone I'm very proud of, and I met through forums, and I said, this one, she's going very fast, so do not ignore. And then digital tools. How well are you using your digital platforms? Is there any one of you right now who is on either LinkedIn or Twitter quoting the quotable quotes of what I'm sharing? Are you going to go to LinkedIn later on and say, we've just had a session organized by Jay. These were my takeaways, and this is something that all of you can learn. But in addition, I also feel this is what I can do. And then content is key. While when I stick to this, you know, sometimes we give ourselves shady names. If you want to remain professional and network effectively, use your official names as they appear on your CVs. Please do not even shy away in changing your emails now so that it reflects you. It's your personal brand, Kurasha Abdullahi dot or Mercy Macau dot. It's like it should speak to you so that when someone is communicating with you, they're not looking like the dolly face at .com or like those gisty names, which I know the Gen Zs and the millennials we are used to, but that is very different from the professionals. So make sure you, within your professional profiles, and then please put go to the studio and put your photo. It's very important that people, when they open your profiles, they can see and they can put a name to the face. And then don't just leave out. If someone really adds value and you feel that this person, I can connect to them, first of all, make sure you either get their email or telephone number, and then send personalized follow-up message so that they know that you actually had an impact with them. And then schedule for regular check-ins, if it's just a quick email or coffee. And nowadays, you don't have to meet your mentor in person. We run a whole program which is just virtual. So you can even request and say, hi, Kuresha, I really like what you do and I want to be mentored by you. Can you spare 30 minutes of your time at least twice a month at your convenience? And then we either talk on phone or we video call each other so that I can really pick your mind on some issues. Maybe if the person is busy, you know, it will either get yes or no, but if you don't ask, then nobody will follow up. And then volunteer and contribute. Sometimes we miss out on that, okay? We organize events, and I've seen people who will say, Kuresha, I can't afford to pay for this forum, but I can pay for my transport. How I can support is maybe help you during the registration or usher in your speakers, okay?
Yes,
And so it's key that you are volunteering and contribute. And then even community, this is where I want everyone to go back to. And I know Paul Ngungi is here, is very big on that. How often do you go back home and contribute to that primary school of yours, secondary school of yours, so that at least they see that whether you just finished school or you're working, that there's someone who is making in life and they're giving back to us. So it's important that you don't just network, but you network effectively. Now, I must have spoken to it, but allow me to just again take you back why professional associations is important. You get platform for visibility, voice, and value, okay? At IHRM, you can contribute through our magazine. You can even speak at our events, whether it's the free webinars, especially if you have content that is new. And then for those of you who progressed within your careers, you can even contribute through our trainings or the congresses, which, if you look at it, most of the speakers we have are people who have approached us, unless we were very deliberate on those issues. And then it's a community of practice. You know, if you join the professional bodies, okay, this is where your path is shaped. This is where you will not shy away and say, all these people are HR professionals and I'll ask these questions, and it will help me within my work, because I've seen people write on forums, so I have this issue, how do I lead? How do I handle it within the workplace? Then you get feedback, because these are people who understand your issues, who can give you back. And then we are also very clear in terms of learning, recognition, and structured mentorship. At IHRM, we run what we call the Transcend. It's a mentorship program targeting the HR professionals. But the catch is, for you to benefit from that mentorship, you must be a member who is in good standing for that specific year. So that is key, that we don't just add you or give you the opportunity. You must be part of our community who is actively engaged with us, because that is also very important. Then at IHRM, and I know we have our vision mission, but trust me, and I'm sure if I was to ask people to give feedback to us, this is where passion meets purpose and people meet possibility. I know individuals who walked through my door in 2022 that today, if I was to get them, I cannot get. I know individuals who walked through my door that when we were meeting for the first time, they were just at 3,000. And I'm sure if they're in this forum, I don't want to mention names because this is being recorded, they can raise their hand. And now they are commanding LinkedIn followers close to 50,000, giving them recognitions both internationally and even regionally. So it's, that is what we do for you. There are so many things. People will say, oh, this is expensive, your trainings are expensive, but look beyond. What is it that you're getting out of it? I've seen people sponsor themselves, very successful entrepreneurs, people who are running their own consultancy firms, coming to our forums just to learn, because sometimes you just need to see what is the competition, who else is there. So we make everything possible at IHRM, and I say with this with a lot of authority that I have seen it, and I can attest to it, and I'm very proud of everyone who has made it through our networks. As I reach almost the end, I just want you guys don't just network for a job, because remember at the beginning I said that while you're looking for a job, sometimes that network is for growth. Think networking as planting a tree, not picking the fruit, because you have to build on that relationship, and the time will come for you to pick a fruit. And you will see someone, maybe you've met them 6 months ago, but the first opportunity they've offered you comes after 6 months, or the breakthrough you've had with them comes after a year. So work on that. Don't say, Pressure, I've been reaching out to her, she's not helpful, I've told her to get me jobs. So you just have to network for your own growth, whereby when there's an opportunity, then Pressure can tell you, hey, there's this opportunity here, can you try? Or there's this networking opportunity, can we tag along? So the focus here should be the long-term relationship and not what is for immediate gain, okay? Then it's good also to just find a tribe, not just contacts, okay? You need a circle. And trust me, when you look at when you look the HR management for WhatsApp group, that is a cycle, and now everyone has just blossomed in their own way, that even as they work as a team, but everyone has created a niche for themselves and they're supporting each other. So do you have that tribe that can actually stand for you and say, Jay, this one you must shine, or Kuresha, this one you must shine, Joshua, this one you must get it right? So it is, you must have that circle that are your trusted advisors and peers. I am very sure Jay did not just wake up and say, oh, I want to start a Thursday mentorship forum. He must have consulted within his circle and they said, go for it. So have that circle that cheers you on and supports you. Okay? Then let mentorship find you doing the work mentors are drawn to motion. Okay? You must show commitment. Sometimes don't expect a mentor to be reaching out to you, because remember, this is someone who is willing to share their knowledge with you, but you also have to show that I am willing to learn. These are areas that I really need help, that you need to walk me with the journey. Coaching is just on another level, because today we're just focused on the mentorship. So you just have to show that you have the passion, and then mentors will just be attracted to you. They feel proud. In fact, mentors, when you learn something from them and they see you act on it, then that is the proudest moment, rather than pulling you and say, hey, have you done this? Have you? So if you've agreed, remember when we was beginning, we said you must have clear goals and objectives, okay? So when you have structured mentorship, then it really helps that your mentor can be checking on you, but you must be making the contact. That is key. Okay. Then, as I conclude, your network is your growth. Okay. Any relationship that you build can lead to teammates, mentors, collaborators. You heard Jay mention that this is in collaboration of Jay. And what else did he say, if you're listening keenly?
Conversations with Esther.
Good, thank you. So he's not doing this just by himself. So, and I'm sure they networked and it gave birth to this, okay? Then the professional associations shape your career path. Sometimes, you know, as you're aware, the HR has 8 circles. So where do you belong? Are you doing employee relations? Are you focused on compensation? Are you in L&D? So the circle can go on. So you might be a HR professional, but your focus is on this area. And you know, right now you've seen the split, yeah? Even within the organizations, people are even wondering, if I am doing the L&D, should I still report to the HR department, or now this becomes a strategic that goes straight to the C-suite? So you see, you just have to choose and help us shape your career. And through joining these forums, you will understand. And we've just released 2 weeks ago a podcast whereby Vicky Karuga was sharing her experience, and she didn't miss a word. She said, you cannot just transition from one career to the next. It takes you time, not less than 18 months, because you have to build into it, invest into that path until now you have mastered it and say, now I am ready and I'm going to look for those opportunities. Okay, because whether we are doing trainings for you, whether it's the recognitions through the HR awards, or you've applied for positions that we've shared. So that is important. And then conversations can spark your next big opportunity. Don't just go for these networking events. Have conversation. If it's a 3-hour event or even 4 hours event that has a break, make sure you keep on changing seats, and before you leave there, you must have identified all the right people who can make an impact within your life. And then stay connected, and also don't forget, as you're lifted, do not forget to lift others also, because it's very important that once you are connected, first of all, you have to prove your worth, that because you are invited to this table, you are going to make sure that you will keep on showing up until you get to build the next table, and then it's your turn to support others and invite them to that circle of yours. So I have spoken, but I will not have done justice if I have not shared with you guys my call to action, okay? And I'm going to read word for word without adding anything, so I don't have to dilute. Your journey begins not by waiting to be invited to the table, by showing up and building one, okay? Then you must reach out, attend events, not just attend again, ask questions, share your experiences, be seen, be heard, be valuable. Before I go to the next slide, I want you to digest what I've just shared with you, okay? I'm going to conclude. There's someone who is busy drawing on my, I just hope we don't have a hacker Jay, but I wanted to conclude by saying that some quotes, I was just going through the internet and I picked a few quotes for you from thought leaders in different fields. Networking, it's just about advancing. It's not just about advancing your career. It's about building a support system that empowers you. That is key. You know, imagine if all of us were just focused on our careers, and that's why we're having a lot of mental wellness issues, with mental health issues within the workplaces. So must sure you build a support system that empowers you. The currency for real networking is not greed, by generosity. Okay? When you find that opportunity, tag along others. Don't just keep it for yourself. Be generous with it. That is key. And then this is everyone, it's in the, I'm sure, on the everybody's fingertips. Your network is your network. So who is that person that today can say, Kuresha belongs to my network? And this is the value she will get out of it, okay? But most importantly, it's your mirror and map. Because every morning, you remember we used to be told, have a mirror somewhere and then put your objectives, so that every time when you're waking up, you can see yourself and then you're also reading, okay? So you have to map out, where is this journey taking me? And what is my intention in joining these different networks or this professional association? Believe me, we have engineers who also did their masters in HR who are members of the institution. We have people who did their first degree on communication and then they did masters and they branched from their careers. We have lawyers who have intentionally did their degree in law and they didn't just want to be admitted to the bar, the advocates of high court, but branched to HR. So it's not just about issues. I have concluded my presentation, but for those of you who are members of the Institute, for you to now belong, because I've told you what you can gain by being a member of the Institute, I know that those of you who have been affected by the economic status of our country, and the Council has been generous enough to say, until 31st December 2023, you get 50% waiver on your membership. And this is going to expire 31st May 2025. It's the first time that Council has opened up in less than 6 month waivers, because we hear you, you've spoken to us, and we've said we must give opportunity for those who want to come back. So please take advantage and join us, regularize your members. For those who are interested to join as new members, please visit our website, and under membership, you will find the different categories and how to join, except for the fellows, whereby it's just through a call by the council. But to be an associate, a full member, or practicing, it's something that it's approved at the council committee level. With that, I thank you for listening to me, and now I hand it back to Skylar and Jay for any questions for me to pick on. Thank you.
Wow, Madam Kuresha, that was wonderful. And I'm sure the audience this evening, I can see that they don't have question. I'm surprised they might have digested every aspect of the session today. Simon Frank says it is outstanding. How can you? Hey, someone has just asked, how can we reach you, Madam Kuresha? There's someone that had asked as well about is it possible for someone to register as an IHRM member with zero experience? That was Anna, and I responded. You can be a member, an associate member, if you have no experience. Excellent presentation. Paul has some powerful takeaways from this. Don't network for a job, network for growth. Wambui, mute yourself. Network for growth. Think of networking as planting a tree, not picking a fruit. That is so powerful. Find a tribe, not just contacts. You don't need a crowd, you need a circle. Let mentorship find you doing the work. Mentors are drawn to motion. That is from Madam Kuresha. Madam Kuresha, someone is asking if you register members for IHRM outside Kenya. I think that one you can respond to it.
Yes, we do. In fact, our system is automated. All you need to do is just apply online, and then approvals happens through our offices. So, but you have to make sure that all your certificates are certified either by your university or through a commissioner of all. So, and all those, whatever you need, you will find it on our website. So I remember there was a time that we had to wait until Saturday when we were free from work to pick our certificates or submit our applications, but we have gone full digital. So please register. If you meet the requisite requirement, we'll definitely register you.
Thank you so much for that.
Jay.
Yes, Richie.
Thank you very much, Madam Kuresha Abdullahi. Thank you very much for giving us tips and nuggets on how to utilize associations, collaborations, so that we can be able to excel in our businesses and professional development. One of the things that I normally notice for people seeking benefits out of networking is instant results. The question of microwave results. What can you advise? People want results to come. If we have connected with you, I need a job out of it. I need to have certain skills out of you. Quick. What can you be able to advise, especially the young people who are coming up to understand it's not a microwave situation, it's a marathon?
Thank you, Coach, for that question. I can pick it with another question, and then there is someone who is very busy drawing on the screen.
Sorry, you can respond to that first. We have Dr. as well with the questions, so you respond to that first.
Good. So, Coach, thank you so much. And in one of my slides, I've talked about that you should focus on the long-term relationship. That don't get angry because you've networked with Kuresha and you know that she has access to all these people. She should give me a quick response in terms of I'm seeking for a job, I was looking for you. I have seen some people, just because I'm the executive director, there's that expectation that I should know all HR directors within the country. But I'm someone who is always the referrals, where it comes, we always refer people. And I will not just refer one person. Maybe if someone asks me for CVs, I'll give 5, 6. And out of those 6, I know one of you will be picked. So that patience is required. And then that's why I said, don't just focus on one person. When you attend that networking event, just make sure that you've identified that I am going to pick 3 people from this who will help me with my career growth or opportunities. And you know that increases your chances to get into more networking events or even access to more jobs. And then finally, we have many of us have different WhatsApp groups that has really helped this profession, because I see people sharing jobs, some even saying explicitly, a friend of mine is recruiting for this job. I know that actually builds the trust. So, Coach, as I agree with you, our current generation, people are they want that microwave results, but that is why I'm sure Jay has volunteered to be hosting this, so that we tell them it takes time. I've just told you guys what I was doing in 2006, okay? So I just did not just wake up and then find myself to be the CEO of the professional body. So it's good that we keep on sharing, we keep on speaking to these young people and let them know. And the best way to help them is to make sure that we're sharing our own personal journeys. You know, this is where I say I will not want to have a motivational speaker, because sometimes someone will tell you how I made my 1 million in a day. They're not telling you how they've built up until they arrived at that one day to make that 1 million. Okay, so by the time you're listening to how I made my million in a day, you need to look at what was the journey before you arrived at that one day. So it's good, even as we go on with these forums, that we don't just share from a textbook point of view, but share real stories on how we have come from where we are right now and what have led us, whether it's through updating our education, whether joining those short courses, upgrading to masters. So everyone has a story to tell. Thank you, Coach.
Now, Dr. Rebecca, you had your hand was raised.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Edie, for that very elaborate presentation. Probably I'm just asking for someone out there who, when they get to these networking events, they don't know where to start, they don't know who to connect with, and they get tongue-tied, because I've had situations where somebody tells me they have had the privilege of being in such a platform, but when they get there, they don't know what to do, how to connect. So would you share with us just maybe 2 or 3 tips that can help somebody who finds him or herself in that position? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Daktari, and thank you so much for joining us today. I normally know people say next question, but I will pick that one. I'm sure the questions will come up from the chats. Jay, you will tell me. So, Dr. Rebecca, the first thing that I will do, and I've touched on in my presentation, is first of all, when you walk into a room, if there are speakers, you listen in, because by listening in, you can link and say, this person can help me achieve my next goal or can help me in my mentorship. And you can only arrive at that when you go to that networking event, what is your goal, okay? Are you looking for jobs? Are you looking for someone who is going to mentor you? Or are you looking for someone who can build on ideas? Maybe you have something and say, I have this idea. So that is key. And then before you even go, because there are flyers which will be shared around, you must know those speakers by name, what they do, or even there are these other flyers that say, I am attending, I will be speaking. So there's so many ways that you can actually research and then say, because I already have information about Jay or Kuresha, I'll walk in there and say, hi, Madam Kuresha, my name is so-and-so, this is where I saw you, and this is what I need. And then practice that pitch, so that you're not tongue-tied. Short, precise, and to the point, so that you're able to connect. So don't wait, because I know everyone gets that fever that when you're meeting someone for the first time. And then, I'm glad you've talked about personal branding last week. Sometimes when you show up, make sure you're dressed appropriately. I don't want to use the word properly. Make sure you're dressed appropriately and arrive early. When you arrive early, you get to interact even before people take their seats. And then you will make your first connection through that. And then be present, okay? And as I alluded to earlier, don't sit with people who you already know. Be very deliberate and move around so that you are able to pick, or maybe that individual who works in this industry. So it's key that you also take part within the conversation, so that if you've marked, let's say someone has marked you Daktari to speak with you, to get the attention of Daktari, when someone speaks, I will be the first person to pick the mic, introduce myself, and ask a question. That way, when I go and approach Daktari later, she will have already have who I am, because I've asked myself, I've positioned myself, and then at least that way the person will remember you. And then, like I said, don't just make those connections. Don't let 48 hours pass before you send the first message and appreciate them, and then quote what they have shared and say, I've listened to you and this really stood out for me, and I would want us to connect further. Can you share your LinkedIn handle, or I've looked for it, maybe is there another name? And then, sometimes keep the relationship very warm. When you see a celebrity, you say, oh my God, this is Jay, and all that. It's very different from how you react with a professional. So keep it very warm, keep it very professional, and that way, sometimes even say that one quote, that the next time the person says, meets you and says, okay, when I met Kuresha, this is what she said. It sticks, and the person remembers you better. But I know we all have our moments. We always get tongue-tied. Practice, be clear, listen. As I summarize, listen, and then ask questions. And then later on, when you go to the person, to introduce yourself, pitch, and be very clear. So thank you. Daktari, that is how I will sum it up. You must go with intention.
Thank you very much. I'm sure it has been very insightful for such a person who gets tongue-tied. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Madam Kuresha. I think we don't have more questions on the chat. Maybe if we have someone that would like to unmute and ask a question, maybe the last question, because our time is almost up. Anyone with a question? Paul?
I could. Yes, I think it's just more of a comment on following what Dr. has mentioned about where these platforms. Just to let also people know that there's a vibrant group, especially for moms who are bouncing back to their careers. Maybe it took you a little bit of time, maybe to nurture children and all that, which is very, very responsible in the society. There's a vibrant group actually, which is led by one of our coaches, Jen Mutisia, which actually is helping women. It is actually helping moms to bounce back to work. And it is quite a very vibrant group. Actually, at the moment, it's even divided into a number of categories, depending on your backgrounds, whether it's HR, accounting, marketing. And actually, this is a powerful platform. So I think this is something that for those who are in this particular call and they may be interested, I think this could be a platform that they may need to join. And also they can actually inform other people. Yes, good. Thanks. I think that's what I wanted just to let you know, Jay.
Thank you so much, Paul, for that. I can see in the chat section, Regina had asked about this topic when we were starting the year. And she says that this topic has been so instrumental on her career growth, and she feels that moving forward, she'll be applying these learnings and grow her network to be able to achieve her career goals. So Maura has a question. Maura, you can unmute and ask a question as we finalize.
Thank you, Jay. Mine is not a question; it is a comment to just farm up what our ED has said. I've been a member of the institute since the year 2013. And for the last 12 years, what I can say is the power of networking is that the more you network, the more you're able to grow your networks. And it humbles me when I go for an interview, I go for a business transaction, and you are received by somebody who says, yes, I know you, I know you, I know you. Oh, yes, we met at this and this forum for IHRM. And I can tell you, you just feel at home. So I want to encourage each one of us that, yes, it is true. The power of networking pays. At the end of the day, they also say that the world is a small village. So you never know whom you will meet tomorrow. So let us keep networking. And as our executive director has said, we keep it warm and professional. And I'm sure we will get more benefits and more blessings from it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maura, for that comment. I think our network is our net worth. And it's key that we network so that we can achieve our career goals and even aspirations. And as Paul has put it, you show up to give, not just to get. So it is
Jay,
as
quick
if,
one.
yeah.
Jay, sorry, I saw someone asking that I want to. Someone asking. I can't see she asked what is the benefit of being a full member that does not apply to an associate membership. So Frida, yes, I found Frida. There are some positions that you cannot be offered if you're not a full member. And the issues we are finding is that people are rushing to upgrade, and approvals takes time. Sometimes someone reaches out at 5 p.m. and says, I have a meeting at 9 a.m. Please, can you quickly approve? It's a process that we have to follow. So there are some positions that with an associate, you cannot be offered and you cannot be promoted. And the being a member of a professional body, by the way, it's even anchored in the Constitution, and it's also anchored on the Values and Principles Act. So, and it's gaining momentum now because there are more visibility. People want people they can trust who have understand. So that is why. And then even within IHRM, is that it saves you time to accelerate your career. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Kuresha, for that. Dr. Rebecca, you have Paul is okay?
Yes.
Jay,
yes,
do you mind? Okay, cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jay. I wanted just to echo what Madam Edie has said about joining a professional body. I've been a member of the IHRM since 2012, and through that, I have been able to partner and collaborate with many. Madam Edie, I want to really thank you for sending us Mr. J. Today, we had the third year's pre-attachment workshop, and I am so grateful that through these collaborations, we've been able to do very many things that are very impactful, and also creating a bridge between academia and industry. I just wanted to make those remarks to echo my gratitude of how the Institute has supported even universities and especially our HR association. Thank you very much, Jay.
Karibu sana. Now, Paul, before you speak, I can see Esther Katiba said that IHRM membership has opened great opportunities for me, including international awards. I'm a proud member of IHRM. Esther is supposed to be getting an award in Dubai on the April 25th and 26th, courtesy of IHRM. So congratulations, Esther Katiba, on your award. And thank you, Madam Edie, for initiating this. Paul, you had something?
I think I just wanted also to read that one on behalf of Esther because she was not able to read. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe the last question, someone has asked difference between full membership and practicing certificate.
Thank you for that question. Again, also, I know it's good to understand that, our act is clear that you cannot practice HR without a practicing certificate. I know there are gaps within our act, which we are going to address. But if you are holding a leadership position within HR, whereby you are responsible for signing of payroll, signing of recruitment notes, you are in charge of performance management reports or the promotional reports, then you must hold practicing certificates so that if anyone asks, like, was this person someone with authority when they were doing these reports or signing off, then it can be relatable. So it has not been captured properly within our act. It only says you cannot practice HR within Kenya if you're not holding a practicing certificate. So that is something that I wanted. So if you are a HR lead, because there are those who are HR officers who do that role, there are those who are managers who do that role, or they're directors, or even we have the chief human resource officers. So please go for the practicing certificate. Like today, I had someone who interviewed for a position as a HR manager, but in that interview, he was told, produce your practicing certificate. And Isaac and I had to see how to support, because we also do not want someone to lose an opportunity because of something that we can help them with. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Kuresha, for this. Thank you, everyone, for attending. How long does it take to process? Maybe respond to that before you finalize that.
Within 2 weeks.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, who has created time to be with us this evening. Thank you to our speaker, who has been very insightful in terms of the contribution that you've made. So I would like to call upon Skylar to close for us this webinar with a word of prayer.